I need to lock in. Ever said that to yourself? Ever heard someone say that? Well, I need to lock in is what I describe as a mentality. A mentality that I have not taken up very well. I started thinking about this the other day. I saw a funny image. Let's see if I remember to put it in post. But it basically shows a guy thinking, I need to lock in, 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 and they never actually do. There's a mentality that, like, I looked at the meme and I was like, ha ha ha, stop calling me out. And so that's why we're here today to talk about I need to lock in mentality. This idea that you can lock in like that. It's extremely tricky, alright? Let me tell ya. So, as I probably said a few videos ago, and if you don't know, you should know, April, which is in about 10 days for me, is gonna be an insane situation, in my case. Hold on, should I creep up? No! Look at these guys, they're so thirsty. Okay, hold on. I need to lock in. It's starting to become day. I need you to shoot the creeper. Fuck, I fell in a hole. I don't think we're gonna get this creeper shot. The creeper, please. No. There's so many husks in the way. There's another husk here. Another skelly. Come on, shoot the creeper. Shoot the creeper. Thank you. Again. Come on, guys. Yay! Awesome. I locked in. But see, this is a different type of locking than the one that people mean whenever they say they have to lock in, you know? Hold on, I don't want this. I want this. Melody. Melody? Melody. Let us go. We got a disc out of this. Woohoo. Unexpected, but good. Win. Achieved. But see, this was a different type of lock-in. This was the type of lock-in that you do momentarily and you get to do. No. Lock-in has to work on a like universal level for you. The universal lock-in. If that makes any sense. Here we go. Oh boy. Back to spawn. This is such a slow process, isn't it? Oh, this is such a slow process. You know, it's gonna be a big month for me, April. And I need to really focus on whatever's gonna happen in my life. Not in my personal life, in my work life. I need to lock in and produce content like you've never seen before. This does probably mean that this channel is gonna see less content, like considerably, because currently it's 11:37 a.m. This is like regularly the time where I would be finishing my show before I started doing this channel and actually start working. So I am losing about an hour of work every day from this channel. And it may not sound like a lot, but it is a lot, an hour of work. Especially now when I have new editing software and whatnot. But the point is, I'm gonna need to really lock in on just my plans out of life, I guess. So this idea of locking in is something that's kind of interesting because, I don't know, it feels like everybody should be able to lock in. It feels like sometimes you really feel like you should be able to lock in, but then actually locking in practice is a lot harder and a lot trickier, and it doesn't happen as much. And I am thinking a little bit about that. It's like, man, how peculiar is it that a lot of the time you're motivated to do things, but yet too slow to actually do those things? that makes any sense. It's like sometimes locking in is not enough. And I think that's something that makes locking in not feel right. I feel like a lot of the times when you are locked in, you don't feel locked in because the vision of someone who's locked in that you have is a little bit more specific. I don't know, I was just pondering this earlier and I thinking to myself, is this like a bad mentality to be in? The whole I need to lock in thing, just constantly thinking to yourself, I have to do more, 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 give us more, give us more, what's the give for? I gotta talk about that one song. I gotta talk about that song in a video sometime because it's the best. I should start to see my portals around here. There they are. Alright. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. We're back home. But I think the whole idea of locking in is really weird for a reason. And I think, yeah, it has a lot to do with the way that the image that you have of yourself locking in is not what locking in means. Monument to rabbit stupidity. I think the idea behind locking in sounds beautiful because it's like this flow state of pure progression and doing it good and doing it right and being awesome and whatnot. This is not locking in. I've just unlocked in. I just got distracted. Which is like, I don't know, I feel like distractions sometimes are part of the fun in creative work. So maybe locking in works for when you have to, say, finish a Google Doc. But what if you need to do a little something else? What if you need to do a little something more? I think at that point, you're gonna start running into more problems. You're gonna start running into just that the idea of locking in is not all it takes to lock in. Because locking in is not just a state of mind or a thing you just choose to do. I think it has to do with a lot of factors. And I think locking in is sometimes counterintuitive to creativity. I feel like sometimes creativity takes time. And this idea of locking in sounds incredibly appealing, but in practice with creative work, such as the one I do, it's like maybe it doesn't quite add up, you know? I just found that to be a very interesting thing to discuss. That's it. There really isn't that much to it. Right. So we just got a bunch of sand. And we want to melt the sand. And the thing about melting sand is that it's going to be really difficult without first a smelter, right? We need to have a smelting system. And in order to make that smelting system good, I think I'm going to want a farm. I think I'm going to want to make a good farm. So, upcoming, maybe we already explored for desert. Remove. Achieved. Goal achieved. Yippee hooray. So I think we need to do this, and we need to do this. And all of this is besides doing this, and this, and this. So I think I'm gonna start looking into how to make a full farm before I actually make the smelting system that we're gonna need to do so I can smelt the bottles for the Beehive Honey farm. So you have stuff to do, lots of farms, lots of stuff. I also want to build a house. That's a creative project, but we're gonna need the honey farm in order to beat the house because it uses a lot of honey blocks. All right. So you're gonna have to hang in there. Now, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna hang out next to my villager breeder for the next few hours in-game and try to get a bunch of villagers because I also want to make the villager trading hall. I also think that's important to do because look at this armor. And we're gonna be doing right now complicated farm stuff because I think I want to do a blaze farm. I genuinely think I want to do a blaze rod farm. It's a farm that I don't see a lot of people do. And that's kind of what intrigues me. Like, why don't people do blaze rod farms? Intrigued, let's just say. Alrighty. I could also try building it in creative. Try building a proper, like, Blaze Rod Farm. Ooh. Ooh. Man, that sounds way too appealing. On that matter, in order to build the farms, we're gonna need a lot of the things here. So, you know, this has to fill up. This farm is not as effective as I'd like. I should have like double. Maybe eventually I will work on doubling this farm. I have to test out in creative if just adding another model on top is going to help create more iron golems. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe I'll have to go kind of higher. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Either way. Hello, cat. Meow. Meow. Here I go. In my hole. This hole was made just for me. Or something, I don't know. Point is, I need to lock in. But I'm not gonna do it the way you are expected to do it. I thought you guys could hear my alarm, which just started sounding, but now you guys can hear it. Haha. You don't get my fun alarm. You don't get it, stupid.